What's up guys, my name is Aaron and today I'm going to be reviewing Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell is a science fiction action movie directed by Rupert Sanders, who's the director of Snow White and the Huntsman, and it stars Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson is a cyborg with a human brain mixed with a robot body. She's kind of like a detective police officer in this futuristic city inspired by like Los Angeles, Tokyo, things like that. Is trying to discover her past while taking down criminals and stuff in this underworld city. I know that this is based on an anime from the 90s. I know that it has a big influence on a lot of movies that I like The Matrix and Dark City, but I haven't watched those movies, so I'm kind of just going into this as this movie viewing person. I thought when I saw the trailers that it looked really cool. It reminded me of Blade Runner, The Matrix, and Dark City, with this how like cool it looked and just like the world setting that I liked in the trailer. So that was the main reason why I wanted to watch it, and that was definitely the highlight of the movie. This movie is gorgeous. It's just like drenched in like neon lights, things that I love in movies. I liked how grimy the city was with all of these like criminals like getting these robot parts and stuff like that, doing it illegally I guess. And I like the alleyways, like they're really cramped and stuff, and all the marketplaces with like these Japanese characters that are just kind of like signs I guess, but they're all CGI. I thought that the world building was really cool in this movie, and I felt like that was definitely the highlight. Cool to look at, especially with the soundtrack that's really like synth heavy with a lot of like rising synth, really reminiscent of Blade Runner again, and I guess Drive. Best part of the movie, the aesthetic, how it looked. I felt like that was amazing. I thought the action was pretty good too. It's not anything too crazy. If you've seen John Wick, you've seen better action scenes. If you've seen Logan this year, you've seen better action scenes. But it's serviceable enough for the material, I guess. I kind of thought of The Matrix with all the slow motion gunfights and stuff, but I understand that this is probably a big influence on that. So I'm not really faulting it for that. But I just felt like the action wasn't that creative, I guess. But I guess it was serviceable enough for the material. I thought the acting was pretty good too. Scarlett Johansson's been getting a lot of flack for even taking this role, being like a white actress taking on the protagonist in a Japanese anime adaptation. I don't really get it. I think that she did a good job with the material and stuff. She's like a cyborg with like a human brain, so like she's very naturally like robotic and very monotone with the way that she talks and stuff like that, but you can kind of see like a sliver of humanity in her eyes and stuff when she's kind of thinking or something like that. I feel like Scarlett Johansson is like the perfect person for that role because she kind of comes across that way in like interviews and stuff like that too. She has a really cool demeanor about her. I felt like she was probably the best choice for her. Plus she has like a lot of action presence when she's doing the fight scenes and stuff like that. You really believe that she can kick a lot of butt when she's doing that stuff. So I don't really have like a problem with her being in the role, and I feel like she did a good enough job. Now like, could a Japanese actress have played this role better or something like that, or as good as she did? Probably. I don't think that she like killed the role in a way that I don't see like another actress playing it in a better way. Yeah, I felt like she was serviceable enough, and I don't really get like the whitewashing things. I feel like she was fine for what they're doing. I thought the actors that were kind of around it were pretty interesting too. I guess a standout would be the actor that plays her boss. That he just speaks in Japanese, and his face is kind of paralyzed, like it looked like. I thought that he was pretty interesting. The actor was, and he was pretty cool too. He looked like he legit came out of an anime, and that's what I could say about a lot of the character designs. They look like live action adaptations for real. Like they look like cartoons in real life, and I thought that was a really cool aspect of the movie, the character design. Where I thought the movie was kind of faulting was the originality of it. I know that this movie is like a big influence on a lot of movies that I grew up with, like The Matrix, Dark City, Blade Runner, but it just feels like those movies. It doesn't feel like an original idea. It's the basis of those movies. I think that the writers could have done something to make it a little bit more original or a little bit more just unique. It just felt very kind of straight through action movie that I've like kind of grown accustomed to over the years. There wasn't like a lot of quirks or anything outside of the world building that was kind of different. Felt like it was kind of hard to kind of get invested in it because it just felt very middle of the road with the way that the story was delivered. I also thought that the messages in the story were kind of interesting, like what happened when you combine like a human with a robot, and if that person has free will, is that a good thing to do, use them as a weapon and stuff, and just kind of just the cons of combining a human with a robot. I thought that was interesting, but they just kind of did surface level things with it. They didn't really go into detail about anything, so it felt like it was kind of fake deep with the message they were trying to convey. It didn't feel that meaningful. It just felt like they were just kind of going through the motions, just kind of touching on ideas I'm sure the anime kind of goes into more detail about. Yeah, even though I don't really have a problem with Scarlett Johansson's portrayal, I feel like the actual movie does something in the last third of the movie that kind of gives a little bit more credibility to the people that were complaining about the whitewashing. So a weird choice to make in 2017, especially with a controversy that the movie has had. I don't know. I think it's kind of wild the things that they did, but I'm not going to really go into detail. I just think it gives a little bit more credibility to the people that were kind of complaining about it. Overall, I thought this was an okay movie. The visuals were definitely the highlight of the movie. It kind of at times distracted me from the predictability and just kind of like the lack of originality with the story, the way that the plot was going through. Overall, I just think it's a kind of an okay movie. I would give it a C. I don't think it's something that you necessarily have to go out and rush to see. I think it'd be fine if you just watch it like at home, like on demand or like on Blu-ray or something like that. It's not something that I would necessarily recommend you have to go out and see unless you're like a huge fan of the anime or just you just like science fiction stuff. I just think it's just kind of okay. It could have been a lot better to me if they really kind of went into more detail about the stuff or kind of got me more invested by doing a little bit more of a unique story. But yeah, I thought it was okay. The visuals were cool. So what did you guys think? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Let me know in the comments what you thought, and thanks for watching. Thanks, guys.